So I think what you're describing sounds simple enough. If you're
Yeah.
in practice and you want to get involved and maybe work with industry or see what's up and coming, take a week off work, take vacation, go to one of the bigger meetings and just talk to people,
Yeah.
get involved. It's almost impossible not to meet fantastic people in our field.
Right.
But let's go back now to the surgical and clinical aspects of this. In today's day and age, if you want to get a jump start, you want to get a head start and accelerate the learning curve for cataract surgery, for refractive surgery, for any subspecialty, really. There's fellowships, there's
Yeah.
targeted fellowships designed for that. And there's the traditional academic fellowships, and there's private practice fellowships. And private practice fellowships tend to be more high volume. They tend to be far more direct, one-on-one type, traditional preceptorship type trainings. And they also involve a lot of these aspects of learning the administrative side of things, the business side of things, and a fellowship like the one you have, widely considered the
Yeah.
best in the country for refractive and cataract surgery. You get to work with industry, you get to work with the latest cutting edge technology, you get to learn from a master surgeon like yourself, like Shamik Bafna. But when you were coming out of residency, those opportunities, those fellowships didn't exist. You could do an associateship maybe, and hopefully if you found the right person who was an amazing surgeon, a great teacher, really cared about sacrificing time out of their schedule to invest in you, to teach you, I mean, that opportunity is, really
Yeah.
rare. So when you were coming out of training and going straight into working with your dad, how did you go about cultivating your skill set? Because I'm sure as amazing as your dad is and was when he was practicing in his career, there were still other skills you had to learn either on your own, or did you travel? Did you go to other places? How did you do that?
Yeah. Good question. I think in some regards, things seemed simpler back then. Yeah, it looks like with cataract surgery, we basically just had cataract surgery. We didn't have, multifocal or femto or aura or guidance. There was no premium IOL options. It was basically cataract surgery. We're all just trying to do, as good a job with a basic cataract surgery as you could do. You might use viscoat to protect the cornea. Okay, that was an innovation or whatever it might be. So cataract surgery, in a way, was more straightforward, I suppose, then. Refractive surgery basically had LASIK, and that was it. LASIK and PRK. And so things were a little bit, more straightforward. But then over the years, I look back and see what type of innovations we've had. We've had multifocal lenses, femtosecond LASIK, femtosecond cataract surgery, SMILE, ICL, cross-linking, Intacs, conductive keratoplasty, all these different refractive or corneal refractive techniques that have come out. But thankfully for me, it was learned maybe every year or two, there was going to be a new innovation. So it slowly innovated. Now, even with that, some of those innovations seem daunting, and the way we would learn them is, travel internationally overseas. So I've traveled multiple places. I went to China to learn LASIK with my father early on. I went to Mexico to learn implantable contact lens with Steve Slade. Went to Dominican Republic to use femtosecond cataract surgery with Juan Baye. Early on in residency, I was with Fyodorov in Russia doing radiokeratotomy techniques. I was actually a med student, so I wasn't necessarily physically doing it, but certainly observing and learning that way. I'm trying to think went to Peru to learn the LENSAR laser. So a lot of times, almost any new technology, before it hits the U.S., it's going to be in some sort of international country where it's being innovated. Most of the MIGs, same thing. A lot of the MIGs are done Eastern Europe. I actually went to Costa Rica to learn Hydrus MIGs. And so having that international experience gives you that sort of leg up, and some comfort or confidence to sort of look your patient in the eye and understand they're not necessarily going to be the first that you've done this procedure on, that you've had some clinical experience before you've provided it to your patients here in the U.S. So I think for me, that was definitely very critical in allowing me to learn and sort of at that pace and stay on that leading edge.